Thank you for your interest in investigating the possibility of enrolling your child in our Friendly Chemistry course with classes by Beth Plus. In brainstorming this short presentation, I thought, what would a parent want to know about this course? So I came up with three main questions. First, who's the instructor? As in, what are his credentials, his background, his experience at teaching chemistry, and his philosophy of learning? Second, what is the Friendly Chemistry curriculum like? As in, will it prepare my child for future study in the sciences, or will it be accessible enough for my child who is likely not to enter a science field after high school? And third, what can my child expect to experience while taking the course? In other words, how will the course be structured, and what are the expectations? So let's look first at myself, the instructor for the course. I was raised on a farm in central Texas, and my dream growing up was to become a large animal veterinarian. After high school, I entered the animal science program at Texas A&M University in order to get my prerequisites for vet school. It was during those first 3 years that I met my college sweetheart, Lisa, who became my wife, who was also seeking entrance into vet school. We gained admission to vet school, and it was during our third and fourth years of vet school that our first daughter was born. Her birth brought some reality to the idea how potentially stressful family life might be like, with both parents practicing vet medicine, and because we both felt like we wanted a large family, we began considering alternative fields of work where we could utilize our training yet maintain a more stable family life. The field of education looked so promising, so I took a position teaching science at a rural school in northeast Texas. I quickly realized that teaching was my gift, and I could readily utilize all of my training both from my undergrad and vet school classes to make my classroom literally come alive with my science students. Teaching science in a hands-on way, fully experiential with kids seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, and even tasting science has been my philosophy for the past 25 years. Kids tend to thrive in this learning atmosphere. It was a fun type of learning for them too, and very rewarding for me to observe their growth. During these years, my wife and I were blessed to add 9 more children to our crew. We have 6 children by birth, and then 4 who joined us through adoption, 3 of the adopted having special medical needs. We also continued our formal education by earning our master's in education and then working towards our doctorates in education. I continued to teach in small public schools in Texas, and then later when we moved to Nebraska, where I also taught at the local community college. So now you're probably wondering, how does this friendly chemistry fit into all of this? Well, when I began teaching, I naturally began using the state-adopted chemistry curriculum at the school where I was first employed. I thought I was doing a good job, but found out after a couple of years that maybe the curriculum could be improved so that my students experienced more success upon entering college. So I investigated to determine exactly what were the basic concepts they needed in their freshman college chemistry course in order to be successful, and I took those concepts and wrote what was to become friendly chemistry. I worked to arrange the concepts in a more logical sequence than what was commonly used in current textbooks, and then developed ways to make the concepts more readily understood. I used lots of everyday analogies to make the concepts more clear, and then, instead of lots of worksheets, my students and I developed games and activities which made the learning active and fun. We literally played games to practice the concepts. Now, there were, and there still are, pencil and paper practice pages along with tests in the course to check for learning. So it was this collection, which my wife and I eventually put together in 1996, that became Friendly Chemistry. Since that time, there have been 3 more editions as the course has continued to be improved. It covers every concept you'd expect to find in a high school chemistry course. Plus, the labs in the course are very safe, yet tightly correlated with the concept being presented in the course. So you might be thinking, what is the track record of friendly chemistry? How effective is it at preparing a child for a career in the science field? Well, looking back over the years, and this is just for my personal use of the curriculum, and I can imagine the thousands of folks whose kids have used the course and have gone on to other careers. I have prepared chemical engineers, radiologists, physical therapists, several teachers, a veterinarian, 2 commercial pilots, plus over 100 registered nurses through its use when I taught the health science courses at our local community college. Friendly chemistry does indeed do the job. So the third question was, what can you expect to find in this friendly chemistry course? Now logistically, the course will be broken into 32 weeks of instruction. The friendly chemistry text consists of 32 lessons, so roughly there will be 1 lesson presented per week. Now some of the lessons are easier than others, and we may cover 1 to 2 in 1 week, which allows us to spend more time on those lessons later in the course, which are more difficult. We'll meet for an hour and 15 minutes 1 morning per week. Now you will be provided a master list of supplies your child will need to gather for each lesson. These supplies may include objects to make the context come alive, or lab equipment or other supplies. Now note that the lab materials are all things you likely already have around your house or could readily get at your local grocery store or hardware store. So basically, as I present the concept using the same set of supplies, your child will imitate what I'm doing on the screen. For example, in the first lesson, where we will begin exploring the definition of elements of the periodic table, we'll take a marshmallow and just burn the tar out of it. So your students will need to have gathered up the necessary supplies, which would include marshmallows, a candle, some matches, and then some newspapers in which to cover the surface that they're working on. So as I burn my marshmallow on the screen, they'll be doing the same in your house. Of course, we'll discuss safety first, and then always be safe as we do the activities, which will all be done together. Another example which comes in Lesson 3 is the presentation of quantum mechanics, which deals with the arrangement of electrons in atoms. In this lesson, your child will need to bring an apple, a knife, a ball, 2 light bulbs, a dumbbell or something shaped like a dumbbell, and a toy fish with them to class. Then, as I present the concept using these same objects, your child will demonstrate the concept back to me. Together, we'll build a very solid foundation of knowledge that will build upon lesson by lesson throughout the course. At the end, regardless if your children continue their study of chemistry or the sciences, they will be better consumers of products like medicines and foods and other household chemicals and supplies for their pets. They'll be able to make better decisions for both themselves and their future families. Now, following class time, your child will be given written assignments to be completed during the week. I encourage my students to utilize the annotated solutions manual as they work through these assignments. They'll also have access to me via email for assistance if necessary during my posted office hours. Then later in the week, they will take a lesson test and submit it to me through email. The format of these tests will likely be multiple choice tests with options for partial credit. A final grade will be calculated with each of these tests having equal weight in the calculation. With my classes, there are always opportunities to earn extra credit too. One final thing to note, that it's my goal for every student in my classes to be successful. Having taught this course over many years with students with varying degrees of capability and interest in the course, I feel I can readily sense when a child is struggling. I can assure you that I'll do my best, within reason, to assist your child if he or she finds difficulty with the course material. I work hard to develop a strong relationship with my students and their families to mitigate problematic issues should they arise. So if you have more questions or concerns regarding the course we have set up now with classes by Beth Plus, please let me know. I'm happy to visit by email or phone any day of the week, Central Time, and mornings are the best for me. Thanks for listening to this presentation. I hope it was helpful in allowing you to make the best decision for your child and your family.